What's up everyone, once again my name is Ben and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD. In the last episode we started Dragon Roost Cavern. In this episode, well, we're hopefully going to finish this up and fight the boss. That's the plan at least. Right off the bat though, we've got a few enemies in this room and most of them are actually being cowards and hiding out in pots. So, we're going to have to go and find them. Lucky for you guys, I know exactly where they are, so we can just sneak up on them and then murder them. They won't even expect it. Get over here. There actually is a collectible in this room. As you might remember, we still have to find 2 treasure charts before we get everything in this dungeon, and we haven't found a single one yet. But that is about to change. So after you defeat all these enemies, the doors will unlock, and you can pick up one of the dropped Deku sticks. Now you'll notice in the corner of this room there are 2 torches. One of them is lit, one is not. So what do you think is going to happen if we light the unlit torch? Whoa, a treasure chest appears. Who would have guessed that, right guys? Anyways, I kind of already spoiled it. Inside this treasure chest is... I don't know why I'm still trying to build the suspense. It's a treasure chart. 1 of 2 in this dungeon. The next treasure chart that we need to collect is actually way back in the beginning of this dungeon, but we can't collect it until we get the dungeon items. So, let's go and do that, huh? Sounds like a good idea. I mean, we've been through this dungeon long enough now, where it's about time that we get the dungeon item. We're actually pretty close to getting that. Right over here, we have this new type of enemy. Now, this guy is really, really annoying. What you want to do is, well, basically that. I didn't really get a chance to explain it, but, if you attack them normally, they'll roll up into a ball. So what you want to do is parry their attack, and then you sort of like slam your sword down into their eyeball and kill them. It's very violent, but it's the only way to kill those guys as of right now. And believe it or not, they can actually be kind of hard to parry. Like, sometimes if you go to parry them, their like outer shell will block your attack, so you have to do it like multiple times. It's kind of weird. We will pick up an item that makes killing them a lot easier later on in the game, though. In this room, check it out. There's the boss door. You can just barely make it out. But we don't have the boss key, and we still have to collect that last treasure chart, so can't really do much there. If we blow up this rock, this will reveal the 3rd and final teleportation pot. Like I said, there's usually one before the boss door. There's still another rock to blow up, though, so let's take care of that. And hooray, there's a door behind it, which means there's still more to this dungeon, which is good, because there's still a lot to do. Now, this is really where you'll notice the bloom in like full swing. I mean, just look at Valoo right here. Like, look at how much light is on him right now. That is ridiculous. It is way too bright. Like, there are just a few areas in this game where the bloom is just completely overwhelming, and this is one of them. And make sure you keep running here because the stairs fall behind you. It's kind of like Indiana Jones style, I guess. And oh no, there's some goons guarding Medley. Let's go and take them out then. How dare you? We're gonna free you, Medley. Don't worry. The battle up here looks kind of nice, though. Like, I guess the amount of bloom on Valoo does help for this one area, because it does look kind of cool, I guess. It's just in certain, like, camera angles, I guess, it doesn't really look that good at all. And I thought you died already, dude. Come on, just get out of here. There he goes. Oh, but it's not over yet. Of course there's going to be air support. Dropping in a Moblin, man. It's about to get real intense. Now, Moblins are actually one of the hardest enemies that we've seen so far. They can actually, like, guard your attacks, which makes them probably one of the smarter of Ganon's enemies. But if you get them caught in, like, a loop where you spin attack and jump attack, they really can't do much. So they basically become, like, giant, useless sacks of meat for your sword to just chop into. Anyways, we free Medley now, so let's go and talk to her. But first, ooh, hang on. We just got ourselves a skull necklace. Now, you need about 20 of these, I believe, for a side quest much, much later on in the game. So, just keep an eye out for them. But, like I said, since we killed everybody, we can go and talk to Medley now. Link, you came to rescue me. Oh, thank you. I have to tell you what I found out. This is terrible. Some creature is doing awful things to the Great Valoo's tail. That's why it's so angry. Or maybe it's the insane amount of bloom. The Great Valoo's tail hangs down in the room right below here. There's got to be something in there. I wonder if those mean monsters who captured me have something to do with it. We've got to do something now before it's too late. I'll go and tell everyone what's happening. Here, Link, use this to get out of here. It's what I used to get this far. It's a device we Rito used before we evolved wings. And with that, we get the item from this temple. the grappling hook, and it's used quite a bit throughout this entire game. Probably one of the most important items you'll ever get. You can even use it to bring things up from the seafloor. Here, Link, climb on that little ledge over there so I can show you something. Now, what she wants to show you is entirely optional. You can actually skip it if you know what to do. So if you equip the grappling hook and, like, stand right here... Oh, by the way, you can actually move in first person too in this game. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, if you just, like, aim directly up, you can grapple onto this and skip that, like, little tutorial segment where Medley teaches you how to use the grappling hook. It's basically self-explanatory. So when you have it equipped, just press the button it's equipped to, aim it at a grapple post, and then press that button again, and you'll grapple onto it. Now, fun fact, they actually sped up the amount of time that it takes to grapple onto something and, like, swing in the HD version of the game compared to the original GameCube. It's like almost 3 times as fast, I think. It's either 2 times or 3 times as fast. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, it's a heck of a lot faster. And believe it or not, that speeds like this entire dungeon up so much. Like, you'll probably save like 5 minutes just because of the grappling hook speed up alone. It's ridiculous how much quicker it makes this temple. Anyways, over here we got a few more enemies to fight. Like, believe it or not, we're almost done with this temple. A lot of what's left is that guy just fell off the cliff. And oh my gosh, wow, they both fell off the cliff and died in the lava. Well, that is sad for them, I guess. And of course, after you defeat them, you get yourself a treasure chest. Now, I believe that one just contains a joy pendant, so it's technically an optional chest, but we'll get it since we're right over here anyways, and it's along the way. But like I was saying, a lot of what's left in this temple is mainly like back traveling or traveling to places to get, you know, the few remaining collectibles and items in this temple. Like, all we have left is the last treasure chart and the boss key, or the big key, whatever you prefer to call it. I'm probably just going to call it the boss key because that's what I'm used to calling it. But I believe it actually is technically called the big key in this game. I don't really remember. And that was literally the worst timing ever because the lava spire just pushed us directly back up. So, yeah, fun times. This platform is basically like an elevator from the 4th floor back down to the 1st floor. It's not really a shortcut because you can only really access it from, like, these 2 areas. So you really can't use it like any other time in the dungeon. In fact, like, I think you only use that platform like twice in the entire dungeon. Once to get down and then one to go back up. Right over here we got ourselves a different looking grapple beam. This one, if we grapple onto it, check it out. Turns out it's actually a switch. And this will open up the door behind us. I like that Link still swings even in the cutscenes. It's kind of funny. But we're going to ignore all these bats and just move on through to here. Now, something I forgot to mention about the grappling hook is that once you're grappled onto something, it pretty much acts like a rope. So if you remember, like, back on Tetra's ship where we had to swing on those lampposts, it's kind of like the same concept. So you can use, you know, ZR to stop swinging, change your direction, give the rope more or less slack, and then, of course, continue swinging again to get to different areas. And, of course, it just adds more versatility to this already awesome item. Like, you guys will see, once we get into the meat of this game, you'll just see how much the grappling hook is actually used and, like, how useful it really is. So it's kind of cool that we get it this early on in the game. Alright, so anyways, in this room we have a chest covered with fire and a switch next to it and one of these enemies that we saw before. So instead of killing it this time, what we're going to try to do is just normal attack it when it goes into its stance like that. That way it turns into a ball, and once it's in its ball form, we can actually pick it up and then use it to weigh down this switch, which will deactivate the fire. And now we can open this up, and this is like a really cool looking chest, huh? It's really interesting looking, like really intricate, and inside it contains the big key, or the boss key. So we could technically go to the boss right now, but as you remember, we still have one more treasure chart to collect, so we're going to backtrack a little bit and go and pick that up. I believe I showed off where it was in the last episode. It's back towards the beginning of this temple, and the fastest way there would probably be to take a teleportation pot, and the closest teleportation pod is in the room with the boss door. So yeah, we have to go all the way back up there. And gosh dang it, fire key. So when you're on fire, if you just like roll attack, you can put yourself out. Now I believe when you're on fire, you take like perpetual damage, and it does like a quarter heart of damage like every time you get burned, and you get burned like every other second or something like that. So it's in your best interest to put yourself out as fast as you can. I mean, obviously being on fire is not a good thing for anybody. So I guess just keep that in mind as you're going through here if you ever do catch on fire. Which you honestly shouldn't, but after you do collect the boss key, a lot of fire keys do spawn, so I guess your chances of getting lit on fire do increase a little bit after you pick that item up. Alright, gosh dang it. We were like a little too late. Now we gotta wait for that platform to come back down. This lava spire looks kind of cool though, you gotta admit. Now it's kind of funny, but on the original GameCube version, if you stood like right here and just sort of looked out, the frame rate dipped a little bit. Thankfully on the Wii U that doesn't happen, but there are frame rate issues in other areas in this game, and not on the GameCube version, so it's kind of hit or miss really with the frame rate issues. And why did a sword just... where did that come from? Where did that, like... why did a sword just randomly fall down? I wasn't even attacking an enemy with a sword. That's bizarre. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, you guys saw that, right? Because I don't even know where that came from. I'm just gonna, like, chalk that up to the game glitching or something, because I literally have no idea what would have caused that to happen. But whatever. We're gonna move on from that. We're just gonna go do some other stuff and continue backtracking. So we're basically where we were when we came down into that area. So instead of grappling downward, we have to grapple all the way upward again, which, again, thankfully, due to the speed up grappling, this does not take long at all. Just like, I want you to imagine every time I've grappled in this part so far, and just like double the length of that grapple times 2. That's about how long it would have taken on the GameCube version, so we've probably already saved like 3 minutes, maybe more, just by playing the HD version of the game. Anyways though, let's hop into this teleportation pod, and this should take us directly back to the beginning of this dungeon, and very, very close to that final treasure chart. And sweet, since we landed up here, we don't have to worry about those stupid enemies, which unfortunately do respawn for whatever reason, but at least we don't have to fight them, so I guess that's the silver lining of that. Now, the treasure chart is actually in this room over here. It's off to the right. Now, we kind of ignored this area when we first came through here because we didn't have the grappling hook, but now that we have it, after I take out these shoes, of course, we can go and grapple onto this grapple bar and go and pick up the last collectible for this dungeon. Hooray! And oh, that was actually very close to the edge. Not cool. Anyways, inside this chest, we can now pick up the final collectible in this dungeon, the second treasure chart. Alright, so now that we've got that... oh, that was not very good. Let's try and grapple across this time and not fall in the lava. That way we can make our way back towards that teleportation pot and basically go back towards the boss room because, well, we're pretty much done with this dungeon. We've got all the collectibles and everything that I really need to get, so all that's left is to challenge the boss, and we're looking pretty good on time, so we should be able to squeeze that in. I'm pretty excited, actually, because although the boss in this temple is actually really, really easy, it's also pretty dang cool, so I'm kind of excited. Anyways, we need to jump in the teleportation pot twice because, as you see, the first time only brings you to the midway point, and of course the midway point will now bring us to the boss door room. And you see, this is why I really do love the teleportation pots in Wind Waker. They were such a great addition to the series. Alright, so now that we got our grappling hook, we can grapple across to where the boss door actually is. But before we go straight on through here, let's get rid of this guy, actually. Oh, see, okay, that's exactly what I was talking about before, where, like, sometimes their shell will get in the way of you actually, like, killing them with your parry command. There's a few treasure chests over here, so let's just open these up, and this one contains a yellow rupee worth 10 rupees. I think the next one might contain a joy pendant or something else. This is a, oh, this is a knight's crest, so yeah, that's what I was thinking of. If you collect 10 of these and bring them back to Orca on Outset Island, he'll actually teach you a new sword technique, so that's kind of cool. There's the joy pendant that I was thinking about. And right over here is, oh, I kind of wanted to put that fairy in my empty bottle. I think there's another one in here, so let's try and do that. Get in my empty bottle, please. Yes, there we go. Now, fairies, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the Zelda series, act as sort of life insurance. So if you ever die, they will basically revive you and bring you back to life. There's also a side quest involving a fairy, but we'll worry about that later on. For now, it's boss time, guys. Let's go. I always love how, like, cinematic it is right before you fight a boss. Like, this cutscene right here is just so cool. Like, you see Valu's tail hanging down, and you're like, oh, nothing too bad is going on. And then it all hits the fan, the camera starts shaking, and the lava's bubbling, and holy crap, there's a giant lava monster. This is Gohma, the first boss of the game. Now, Gohma looks way more intimidating than she actually is. So what you want to do is just grapple onto Valu's tail. And I always thought this was funny, like, Valu's like, what the heck is going on down there? And then you swing across to the other side. Now, in doing that, it causes the rock platform up there to fall on top of Gohma. And as you can see, it sort of chips away at her protective shell. Now, this is a two-phase boss battle, so you need to cause this rock to fall on top of Gohma a total of 3 times before you can start actually doing damage to her. And something I found out by watching, like, speedruns of this game is that, like, you can grapple onto Valu's tail. I don't know why it didn't work there, but you can grapple onto Valu's tail, like, literally milliseconds after it resets. Like, I would sort of do it after it resets, like, instantly before, but, like, I don't know, I guess by watching the speedrunners, I found out you could do it, like, much faster than I was doing it. Anyways, wow, I'm, like, inside of Valu's claw thing. That was really creepy. One more grapple should do it, though, so as soon as this resets, we should be able to make it to the other side and start attacking Gohma. And yes, you can even grapple, like, through Gohma's head, so if you ever see that symbol sort of show up, just do it anyways. You'll automatically grapple in. That was, like, the worst time to land on top of those wooden platforms. Like, normally those are good for the first phase, but you don't normally want to be up there in phase 2. Alright, though, there goes her protective covering. Now she's vulnerable, so let's drop down, and now what you want to do is lock onto her eye and sort of grapple it towards you. That way you can... Okay. That way you can actually start attacking her. What am I doing? What the... I thought she was stunned there because I thought I grappled onto her, but I guess not. Got her that time, though, so let's just wail on her. There we go. We got some good damage in. It was sloppy towards the start, but, you know, we made it work. Let's pull her towards us again. And, oh, come on, what was that? I only got, like, 2 hits on her that time. That was cheap. Oh my gosh! Did I just kill her with the grappling hook? I didn't even know you could do that. What? Wow. Yeah, Link's holding the grappling hook. What? I didn't even know the grappling hook did damage. Like, I can honestly say that's the first time I've ever done that. Like... I still can't believe it. I don't even know what to say, like, just wow, I guess? I mean, I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. But jeez, man, wow. I'm sort of speechless, but I guess let's just go and collect our heart container then, and complete our 5th heart container. Alright, cool, there we go. Life energy increased by 1. Now that we've finished this dungeon in probably the most stupid way possible, let's enter the wind and teleport out of here. Wow, that was just insane. This is another really, really cool cutscene. Valu seems a lot happier now, and I mean, I guess that makes 2 of us. Oh, and what's this? The dark clouds seem to be disappearing, which means the island is at peace once more, and Valu is no longer angry. We did it, guys. We saved Dragon Roost. And all the Rito people. Link! Hey, Medley. And Prince Kamali. Well, Prince Kamali, do you have something you want to say? I heard everything from Medley. Link, thank you so much. I'm sorry I mistrusted you. I hope I can be like you someday, Link. You will, Kamali. I just know it. Right, Link? Sure. So, Link, here. I want you to take this, Link. Giving you the thing I value most will give me the courage I need to stand up to bad things. Alright then, whatever you say. And with that, we got Din's Pearl, one of 3 pearls we need to collect. And see, even Valoo is happy now. The Great Valoo is grateful to you, Link. Oh, hero, thank you. Oh, hero, use the Wind God's wind. Use the Wind God's wind? That's what he said, but I don't understand. I wonder what it means. The Wind God's wind. I wonder if what he's talking about has anything to do with the wind shrine that's through that tunnel. Oh, I almost forgot. The Great Valoo also named you, Link, a true hero. I agree with him. As far as we're concerned, Link, you really are a hero. Well, I'm gonna go and visit Valoo. I'll come and see you sometime with the best pair of wings ever. Hey, Prince Kamali! Thanks so much, Link. See you again someday. You bet, Medley. We'll definitely cross paths with you later on. Alright, now there's a few more things we can do here on Dragon Roost, but I think we'll take care of those in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.